Good evening, everyone. We're welcome back again to the RBN YouTube channel. All things Arsenal here with Kingsley, the super coach, but even a better baller. And you know what, Kingsley? One of these days, we should do another broadcast where we like showcase some of your games. We need to come and cover one of your games. What do you reckon
Right,
about
that'd
that?
be cool, man. Yeah,
All right. We'll
yeah,
set that up.
definitely.
But anyway, this is All Things Arsenal. We're here. Please like, share, subscribe. I know you lot have been loving the content. And by the way, coming up in the next few weeks, we're gonna be editing our content, doing a lot more personalized stuff and just improving the quality of what you guys have been getting. So please watch out for that. The more you share, the more people are watching this. We're gonna have a lot more chances and more to do that. So we're getting straight into the post-match analysis of the Leicester game. So Kingsley's watched some of the highlights. So today, like last time, where he was the one primarily giving the
Yeah,
thought. So Kingsley, you are asking me the questions. What do you want to
yeah.
know?
So I'm hearing that there was some speculation about how we played in the second half and that Arteta needs to learn how to hold on to a win properly without needing to be saved by Ramsdale.
You know what? You can't win everything, isn't it? If they had produced the same 45 minutes as they did in the first half, in the second half, given the fact that these players, and you know this as a coach, they have not done this for 2 games in a row, ever.
Yeah,
In the whole history that Arteta's been at this club, even that time when they won the 4 games in a row,
mm,
because they played West Brom, and yes, West Brom had like got a draw against Liverpool, or had got a
Chelsea.
few
Yeah,
points. They weren't your top team. They weren't as good as what Villa are or what Leicester are.
yeah, yeah, of course.
They weren't. Even though Leicester lost, Villa lost 4-1 the other day. Villa just going through one of those patches at the moment.
Mm,
But they were still dangerous against us. They still caused problems. The point I'm trying to make is that if people are expecting this current Arsenal team to produce 70 minutes back to back of consistent press, doing everything and ticking all the boxes, I'm telling you guys, your coach, you know this, that doesn't come overnight.
yeah,
They
yeah,
need the next game to do it again in the first half, like they did against Spurs, like they did against Villa and Leicester. If they do that in a fourth game at that level, then you can now start saying, come the sixth, seventh game, let's start seeing you do this for 70 minutes. Even if you lose that game, let's at
yeah,
least still see you put that in.
and
Because
yeah,
what it tells us is that you're changing. Right now, we can't say this is their level. We can say they're getting there or they're trying to get there. So this is what I'm saying. So second half, actually, they actually managed the game well. Because the times Villa got through was only the first 10 minutes. Because not Villa, sorry, Leicester got through the first 10
mm,
minutes. So let's deal with the second half before we come back to the first. So Leicester did get through against them in the first 10 minutes, and it was looking dangerous. But there was such a confidence that the angles that Leicester were getting to shoot at wasn't like one-on-one open. It was like at corners. So
yeah,
Leicester, but Harvey Barnes gets through on like the his left-hand channel, Tomiyasu's right, gets through that place. And the reason why they didn't go in hot is that, if you go in too close, you touch a player, that player goes down, you lose a penalty.
mm,
And
mm,
sometimes the player dives. So I'm actually looking at them and looking at the positive sides of how they conceded some of those shots on goal. So it was an acute angle, and I backed Ramsdale to save it. His best save was against Madison, and that
yeah,
was like
free kick.
how Ramsdale said. He even played down that save. He's like, oh yeah, it was kind of close to me. And it's true, it was kind of close to me, but it's still a great save.
It
We
was
don't know
amazing.
if Elena would have made that save. But I like what Ramsdale said. It was kind of close to me, and he's right. Because if it was further in the corner, he might not be getting there. But
Well,
he
if it's within
still
the
did
corner at that
very,
pace, it
very
was,
good
it
to
was
get
in.
there. Do you know what I'm saying? So coming back to the other shot that I think it was it Vardy or someone else that had it? That was at an acute angle again. But you still got to stand yourself and be big to
Mm,
save those. Now, the
mm,
one that was really dangerous, where he spread himself, that's the one I'm giving it to him. That's what I'm saying. Our defense, you let them through now. Let's be honest, Leicester are not a dead team. They're a good
mm.
team.
Yeah,
Not the best, but when you look at the last top four, you come down, there's a reason why Leicester came fifth. They
mm,
were the fifth best, right? So, there were only 10 games into a new season. So you can almost add these 10 games on to the back end of last season. The top four is who they were for a reason. They deserved that. As Ferguson said, the table never lies. So here's the thing. When he made that save, I was like, yeah. So there was one chance I would say, okay, guys, man, we're letting them come in too much. The others, yes, they did let them in, but I was confident because they pushed those attackers to the wide areas. And apart from that first 10 minutes in the second half, all the other things that happened, there was the one shot, was it from someone else? I can't remember. But once again, Ramsey was there. So I was confident because none of those were like breaking the lines and like one-on-one or like a free shot. Like look what happened with ESR's goal. That was bad defending from Leicester. But he still had to put that away. We've seen him blast those over. We've seen Partey blast those chances over. We've seen other people blast them over. We've seen Oba, be a bit lazy and not score those. You still need to put it away. So well done to ESR. First goal, that's one thing I'm so glad about Gabriel being back. He is always a threat in set pieces and corners. So I see him and White as well getting some goals and getting some joy.
You think they've been working on set pieces? Because that's 2 corners in a row we've scored.
100%. They were working on it from last season. Remember, Gabriel was out for long periods of time. He didn't have him to do that. Remember, Holding missed. I can count at least 5 good headers Holding missed last year. They've always been working on set pieces. It's just the players to get it and to action it is there. Once again, I'm not letting Arteta off the hook. Yes, he's a rookie, but we can't call you a rookie anymore because December's 2 years in a job. This is Arsenal. This ain't Leicester. I'm sorry to disrespect Leicester. This ain't Villa. This ain't the smaller clubs. Arsenal's historically the third most successful English league winning team. That's pedigree. So, we are expecting you. Yes, Arteta, you come in, it's your first job. No, but we're expecting better. We understand you ain't Klopp, you ain't Pep, you ain't Conte and the big man there, but we're still expecting you to level up because you took the job. You got to do the thing. So I don't have any least expectations for Arteta, but at least I can see that as he keeps on getting his squad into this team, he's going to get what he wants because he's only going to get better players come summer's transfer window. He's only going to get better players or add like he did with Lokonga, with obviously Ramsdale, who's now cemented the place, with Tomiyasu, who's now cemented the place, with Odegaard, who will come good again. Trust me, Odegaard has too much talent to not come good again. And I like what Arteta did. He actually listened to you, Kingsley. He brings on Odegaard in about minute 58 or 60 because he's realizing that although Laka's had a great game, he's going to end up blowing. So he freshens it up quickly so that we don't concede. Because I reckon if he doesn't bring on Odegaard or refresh it up before that 60th minute, there's every chance they would have conceded the goal. So Odegaard didn't have like an amazing time off the bench, but his energy, he's coming around. He did make one mistake though, getting caught at possession, and that Leicester were able to get on. And that's one place where the team needs to improve. Like expect the unexpected, because every time they're caught in possession, they get a shot on goal. I want to see them like in a Palace game, get caught in possession, but then recover. When they start doing stuff like that, that's what VVD does well. That's what when he's on it, Matip does well. Like when they're caught in possession, because sometimes Liverpool's midfield does get caught in possession. Those guys recover. That's the next step of what we're seeing. But we know we're not going to see that. We may see it in the next game because I'm sure Arteta's going to pick that and say, look what happened here. This is what I want you to do next time. We may not see it because these guys still need time. But that clean sheet tells me they wanted the clean sheet. They fought for the clean sheet. Partey also makes it to the end. Lokonga also makes it to the end. Maitland-Niles couldn't get on anymore because they had to make sure no goals were conceded. Martinelli couldn't get on, and I like what he does. Instead of bringing on Martinelli for the last 10 minutes, he brings on Pepe instead. And let me tell you why I like that. The game is about damage limitation now. He doesn't want to now take a chance because Martinelli's going to push those strikers up because of his energy. And I don't think that he brought Pepe on because he thought Pepe is ahead of the queue than Martinelli, because I don't think he is. I think Martinelli's now ahead of the queue of Pepe now. We've seen that in the previous games. I think he brings on Pepe because Pepe's style kind of slows the game down. And I
Mm.
think he wanted to do that to Leicester. So I'm actually watching how, the things that Arteta's doing and seeing how he's making sense. Because I'm like, why aren't you bringing on Martinelli? But at that time, they kind of needed to slow things down a little bit. And an attacker who can be a threat, but can also slow it down and change your pace and do whatever, that was Pepe's time. And that's why I think he brings him on. And even though Nketiah had a great game against Leeds, or decent game, should I say, Martinelli's still in ahead of him because this is Leicester. This is a big game. You need your big guns.
Yeah.
So I'm liking what I'm seeing on the bench. I'm liking the fact that Ainsley Maitland-Niles keeps on making matchday squads. It tells me that he's training well. He's looking for his chance. He keeps on knocking on the door. And that's what you want to see. You want to see people competing. Now, back to that first half. They were all over them. The front six were all pressing. All of them. All pressing. And that's what you want to see. If they can do that for 70 minutes, one day they'll be able to do it for 90 minutes. Not a whole press for 90 minutes, but to stay concentrated for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. Ramsdale stays concentrated for 90 minutes. And we know it's hardest for a keeper to be concentrated for 90 minutes. So if he can do it, yes, he's not expending as much energy running around like the others. It tells me that mentally, these guys can also chase this down as well. So they were all pressing together. Aubameyang clearly has the fitness now to keep doing it. So we're going to keep seeing that. We know he's got it in his game to link up play and link it up well at speed when he wants. He didn't get his clear opportunities, but he contributed to the team because obviously him being around pulls other players away and leaves someone like an ESR free to get that shot on goal. Him being around as a tall player as well means that someone like a Gabriel can run in and get a header on. Obviously, I'm talking over now. Come to Laka, his energy. Man, if we sign Laka on for another year and this version of Laka that's playing with Aubameyang, I'll take it. Unfortunately, he's not always had the chance to play with Aubameyang.
No, that's the problem. I've been screaming for these two to start. I told you we'll win games when them two start.
We will win games when they start together. Unfortunately, though, he's got Martinelli, who I'm sure is ripping it up in training. And he's going to need to start playing Martinelli. But hey, for me, it's a win-win. If Martinelli starts with Aubameyang, or Martinelli starts with Lacazette, or Lacazette starts with Aubameyang, any of those combinations with Saka and ESR,
Yeah, I'm happy with any of them.
I'm happy. I'm happy with that. So competition is what you need. And people realize that they realize that this is the way of the game these days, that you're not always going to get to play 90 minutes every game unless you are putting in that work like your ESRs, like your Aubameyang has been putting on, like your Saka's been putting on. You're not always going to get to play that. And obviously, he takes off Saka for Pepe because, at the end of the day, Saka's done his job. He's done what he needs to do. It's his turn to come for 10 minutes. In the next game, don't be surprised if they've won it. It's now ESR's turn to come up for that 10 minutes. And the last thing I say as well is that hopefully I've seen Partey play consistent for 4 games now. There's still the unfortunate, giving it away in the last game. But there was no giving away this game though.
Oh, that's good.
There was no giving away the ball this game because he can do it. He can do it. He just needs just that level of concentration. Maybe Arteta or whoever of the other coaches is getting through to him. Lokonga definitely looks solid next to Partey, but I reckon another reason why he brings on Odegaard is that he will eventually go 4-3-3, playing Partey and having ESR and Odegaard in front of him because that brings the balance that he wants because he's got a left-footed attacker, he's got a right-footed, and he wants Partey to not just sit. He wants him to be box-to-box. He wants ESR and Odegaard to take their turns in helping out and coming back and doing the press. Because if everyone's pressing together, you don't need 2 DMs. If everyone's pressing together, you don't need 2 DMs. So that's what he wants to do. He wants to be on the front foot. And if I just take it back to what Emery was trying to do when he was playing Torreira further up, like how Conte was doing with Kante, he was trying to be on the front foot because he knew that Torreira would go after players and he would go after close down. But the problem is that only Torreira was doing it. So man was getting tired.
Yeah.
So so we've seen what all these guys have tried to do with the players they've had, but we just hope that, like how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got time, Arteta's going to get time, and hopefully this summer spending 1-4 million is not the only summer, and hopefully other players out there in the world are looking and say, you know what, they're moving forward. that they will want to start coming to Arsenal, because when he adds to this in the summer, I can say that, yeah, they should comfortably compete for top 4 next season. And let's be honest, if United wobble, because I don't see City, Chelsea, or Liverpool not making top 4, if United wobble, boy, that fourth
there's a
spot,
space there, yeah.
there's a space. And if United decide to put all their chips in Champions League and they got Ronaldo, let's be honest, United could not easily, but they could, they could put all their bets in if they qualify for round 16 and win Champions League, and then flop in the league, and that top 4 spot could be there. There's so many combinations, but let's be honest, because of how much attackers and talent they got, top 4 is going to be the same as last year. I don't see anyone else breaking in there. But of all the teams, because of how, unfortunately for United, but fortunately for us, Oli at the wheel is there. The chance that if anyone plays their cards right and they got Europe, that we've got that opportunity. Because next week's game is going to be tough for United, because they'll be coming back from Europe. Arsenal don't have Europe. And I don't think Arsenal have West Ham next. Who's Arsenal got next? Or is it Watford? So, yeah, Watford. Hopefully, that's a game whereby Ranieri doesn't do a job on us, and that confidence builds. And if United drop points, if West Ham drop points, because they're going to be coming back from Europe as well, all Arsenal's competition, Leicester, Spurs, United, West Ham, they're all in Europe. Arsenal ain't in Europe. So this is an opportunity to definitely be in top 6. I think now that the players are listening to him and responding, they should definitely be aiming no lower than top 6. But I also won't be surprised if they don't make it, because this team is still growing.
Yeah.
However, the expectation is there.
If we carry on with the recent form and that style of play, and we don't get any injuries, then top 6 is more than capable. Top 4 is a if. That could be down to the last few games of the season.
Yeah, leave top 4 for now, man. Let's be honest, leave top 4 unless it's there.
The reason I'm not leaving it is because if I can see teams like West Ham pushing through it, then Arsenal can.
Yeah, I agree with that. In terms of, if West Ham are showing that ambition to push for it, then we should as well. But remember, West Ham were there last year. Arsenal weren't. So that's why
true. Last year we went on a nasty losing streak, and if we had won half of those games that we had lost, we would have had top 4.
They would have.
That's why I don't push top 4 too out. When people say, "Can Arsenal get top 4?" I generally say it's a possibility.
It is definitely a mathematical possibility, but because of the permutation and this year, because they ain't got Europe, I would say so. But I can also hear the argument. You know what? Let me just say it as it is, because let me stop hiding. I think they should be pushing for it, and they can get it. But because of the trajectory of how the team's been, and they've been, wishy-washy off form and stuff, I can expect it.
I hear what you're saying with the off form, but I feel like now, because of the summer we've had, we're a different team. We're a different unit now, and I can't take last year. I can never see us having that form of what we had last year with this team.
Yeah. I don't see them going on a stupid run of like.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Your Holding's gone. You got your Bellerin's gone.
Yeah,
Saka's playing less. You know what I'm saying. You got Odegaard and Smith Rowe and Saka, and you're just confident now when you see it, and like Ramsdale as well, and Tomiyasu. And even Ben White. It's just a big boost, and it does not feel like the same Arsenal team from last year and the year before.
I mean, just seeing Ben White and Gabriel, the combination, it's looking serious, man.
It's a serious partnership, and it gives you that. It gives the midfields and the forwards is that confidence just to be like, I can take more risks now.
And I don't know why people are saying that Ben White doesn't defend. He's just a ball playing centre back. I'm seeing this guy putting so much challenges and going in for stuff.
I've seen it even win headers recently.
Yeah, what were they saying? Like, just because Brighton were a team that weren't going for headers last year, they say the guy doesn't do headers. Man's been doing headers. So I don't know where all these stats come from. This is why you have to watch a game.
Because of his price tag, innit? That's anytime a player has a high amount of price tag, you're just gonna get loads of stick.
Yeah, and once again, not saying that we know they're not the finished article, but if they carry on this form, we can clearly see that things are being done on the training ground every day. And another thing I'm seeing is that the relationships. I'm seeing how Saka and Gabriel are always around each other when there's a goal. You're just seeing not necessarily clicks, but you're just seeing like the bonding, like the squad's together.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
squad looks
The change
together.
room's
When it's
definitely different
together,
now.
change rooms. Do you know what I'm saying? Like to be fair to Xhaka, who's missing now, like I rate him for turning it around and not, and not going the way of like Kolasinac or going the way of a Bear.
Mm.
Ozil's a special case because I think Ozil was 100% down for the cause. It's just a shame that the off-field stuff.
Yeah. The
Play.
China stuff and the
I
Muslim
don't
stuff.
think he was never down for the cause. I don't care
Mm.
what people say. Every time, yes, his language style, yes, his body language may.
No, I can't hear it. I mean, oh, you back now? Yeah.
Sorry, this is it for me though. I've got to take a call now. We got to wrap it up. What's your prediction for the Watford game?
I'm comfortable. I'm gonna say 3-0.
I'm actually gonna go 5-0 or 5-1.
We have scored 5-0. Wow, I'm sticking with 3 in it.
I'm gonna go 5. I'm saying 5-5-1. Don't let me down now, Arsenal, and then do a madness. All right, cheers.
It'll be 3.
Like,
It'll be
share,
3-0 or
subscribe,
1-1.
everyone. Say that again.
It'll either be 3-0 or 1-1.
No, I'm gonna go 5-1. Go 5-1.
Alright,
I'm
I read
confident.
that. I read
5-1
that.
or 4-0. All right, take care. Thanks for being on it. So
Alright,
everyone,
nice.
like, share, subscribe. This has been All Things Arsenal. Thank you, Kingsley, as well.